Nizoral has 4.6 stars from more than 111,000 reviews. But the real question is whether this $15.88 bottle earns its price. This is the 7 fluid ounces O's Nizoral Anti-Dandruff Shampoo with 1% Ketoconazole and a fresh scent. It promises to control flaking, scaling, and itching by targeting the scalp fungus connected to dandruff. The price is the loop we are going to keep pressure testing. In the main product photo, the box and dark blue bottle both put Ketoconazole 1% right under the Nizoral name. That matters because this is being sold less like a cosmetic shampoo and more like a focused dandruff treatment. The first thing to understand is the mechanism. It is not just promising cleaner feeling hair. The claim is that Ketoconazole targets the fungus that can drive dandruff, which is why owners with stubborn flakes are the most interesting group here. When the B-roll moves, use this as the proof beat. Nizoral is meant to be part of a routine, not a one-time miracle. Owners repeatedly describe improvement after a handful of washes, especially for flakes and itch. The back panel spells out the practical routine. Wet hair, apply shampoo, lather, rinse thoroughly, and repeat. It also says to use it every 3 to 4 days for up to 8 weeks, then only as needed to control dandruff. My take, that twice-weekly rhythm is one of the strongest points. If the feedback is accurate for you, you are not buying a daily habit. You are buying a targeted reset you can maintain with fewer washes. The second proof beat is speed, but with a caveat. Many owners say it worked quickly, including people who noticed less itching and fewer flakes after a couple of uses, but the data still includes negative dandruff reports. This blue claim graphic is the boldest marketing piece. The active ingredient is presented as 10x more effective at killing scalp fungus. The fine print matters too. That is based on lab testing, not a product-to-product comparison. So the takeaway is not that it beats every bottle on the shelf by 10 times. The safer takeaway is this. It uses a serious antifungal active, and that lines up with why stubborn dandruff reviewers are so loud in the positive camp. But here is where it gets more practical. A treatment can be powerful and still be annoying to live with. So the next question is whether owners actually tolerate the scent, feel, and routine. Compared with basic dandruff care, Nizoral's edge is focus. The reviews are not just saying hair feels a little cleaner. The recurring praise is dandruff reduction, effectiveness, itch relief, and finally getting to a flake-free scalp. The infographic image surrounds the box with the exact benefits Nizoral wants you to notice. Root cause fungus control, severe dandruff help, safe use across hair types, and starts working from the first use. That is a lot of promise for a small bottle. The trade-off is that this is still a medicated shampoo with real instructions and real warnings. Typical cheaper-feeling dandruff choices may be easier to toss into a daily routine, while Nizoral asks you to follow the schedule and manage dryness. Now, the social proof is massive. 4.6 stars across 111,210 reviews. That does not make it perfect, but it does mean the positive pattern is not coming from a tiny sample. The owner voice behind that number is pretty consistent. People who felt stuck with stubborn flakes say this finally moved the needle. One buyer's sentiment was essentially that after years of flakes, they could move their hair around without snowing. Here is the mid-video question. If so many owners say it works, why is the biggest complaint still value for money? That is the exact tension, and the verdict depends on how often you need it. The best pro is not vague quality. It is dandruff reduction, with 4,472 mentions and a heavily positive split. That is the category where this product earns the most trust from the review data. Use this cutaway for the before and after feeling owners describe. Less visible flaking is not just cosmetic. For a lot of people, it changes whether they touch their hair, wear dark shirts, or feel self-conscious. The second pro is itch and scalp comfort. Scalp irritation has 1,738 mentions, and most are positive, with owners describing less itching, less flaking, and scalps that feel calmer after use. I also like that the feedback does not sound like a harsh, punishing treatment for everyone. The lifestyle image says soft, clean, and fresh, and many fragrance comments are positive, although not every owner agrees on moisture. Now the bad side. Value for money is the most cited drawback, with 963 mentions and a noticeably mixed split. Some owners call it worth every penny. Others say the bottle feels expensive, especially if it does not work for them. That split is important because dandruff products are very personal. People with stubborn flakes who see results forgive the price. People who see little change compare it with cheaper shampoos and feel burned. The other real complaint is moisturizing. The data is almost perfectly split, 416 positive and 436 negative. Some say hair feels clean or soft, others say it dries their hair out and needs conditioner afterward. So here's the catch: the hook opened. Nizoral is not the cheapest feeling dandruff route. At $15.88 for 7 fluid ounces, the value only makes sense if the antifungal approach actually solves your flakes. Before the verdict, there are 4 practical things I would want on screen. Use it on the schedule, avoid contact with eyes, do not use it on broken or inflamed scalp, and pay attention to dryness. This image leans into a sensitive claim, helping control hair loss from dandruff. I would read that carefully. The product data supports dandruff control. It does not turn this into a general hair growth product. The drug facts panel also says children under 12 should ask a doctor, and if the condition worsens or does not improve in 2 to 4 weeks, stop guessing and ask a doctor. This is the week 2 style beat. Owners who stay consistent often talk less about the first wash and more about confidence returning. One longer use sentiment was that the hair stayed gorgeous and flake-free as long as they kept using it. The hair type image says safe for color-treated, chemically processed, and gray hair. That expands the audience, but it does not erase the moisturizing split, so dry hair buyers should plan for conditioner. My verdict? Nizoral makes the most sense for stubborn dandruff, itching, and people who want a twice-weekly medicated routine instead of another daily shampoo. Skip it if you are price-sensitive, your scalp skin is broken, or dryness is already your biggest hair problem. Tap through if you want the exact product. And next, compare it with the cheaper dandruff shampoos most people buy first. The simplest way to frame it is this: Nizoral is worth the premium when the problem is stubborn flakes, not when you just want the cheapest anti-dandruff bottle on the shelf.